for say enya de boy no omu ebeton no latest a eba no Abranche Carlos Baleba Brighton for ne say boy no omu nye ready say price bia omu ebejai boy na ma boy no akọ omu mbedwin bibi ho a summer of 2026 bia World Cup ni mu ho na bia omu hwede ekọ no omu din komo ne ade a ba se sia pa de enya de omayo madwen say Abranche for say Carlos Baleba omu ebejai no during the week in retrospect, ye catch us a Manchester United manager, Amorim, aka champion for so omunko all out on the player, all out na kopim. Say omu enton Abranche to say Manchester for astati omu inkwa players ambebo mudin. Abranche friend say Adam Wharton, ono na ye omu number 1 target. Adam Wharton, wababe daso. Number 1, Manchester United. Number 2, Morten Joland. Onu sina kai de Sporting Lisbon. Onu nso ediaba na Ederson or Atalanta. Onu nso ediaba. It is 3 players way and it's a Manchester penning for better say next week na for ma discussing a player. Omu fuso obebu omo no. Oma kwa akofano Edna Benti. Baleba de ene de ebetimi a close deal no ene e pure Angel Sports ne so say enye likely say boy no ebo join the Manchester United team na no a transfer center kakra bi e pure Angel Sports so latest e branch here friend say Alexander Isak enie Isak situation no eduru say e say honest ebem Michael Edwards and as say o Manchester United a sisi America say no chief executive edema omu football no ono emergency meeting ebeba so oru no air fly akopiem of Boston in the US okohye Newcastle United owners no matchance na fe makasa na hwese kwan bia so boy no ekon betimi afaso na sa a record transfer betimi aba in the Premier League this year no betimi abas no betimi akwakoye etinyame ya adoma next week and as a weekend way emergency meeting baso Michael Edwards Asia owners no Boston US na for mo etimi iron out 130 million pounds Alexander Isak to Liverpool umbetimi akọ no makọ akoye ho adwuma na bibia etimi aye fine no kakra eno so ba no Kunde renew the contract e ama FC Barcelona Jules Kunde we renew the contract at the ama FC Barcelona eno kakra e de emau wo dwumade ne so nti Kunde de no eno no latest no free Kunde aso e ba to 2030 Kunde bedi dwuma Lucas Paqueta enso yemfa ntodwa yensan ensi so biem weekend mi aka che Paqueta ya ba beda boboku a ye friend say Manchester City o mapono so biem and afei Real Madrid fonso yet city so ma did ne ho komo kakra enkra men say kan say Abranche ne camp ayo madwen so mba explore options ho enti say enim de tete ene say Manchester City ka ho and Real Madrid fonso ka ho update eba ene sendei on the camp ne chance na fe office aba table ne so no o matimi ahwehwe no ye Paqueta transfer center update ye the man why na just be free West Ham na fe watimi atoa so latest amedi twato Abranche for Savinho and come in second and say Manchester City for babe cash out about 70 million pounds Savinho Tottenham Hotspur for so mu dis no e committee my friends Manchester City no mu fa branch friends Savinho already Savinho mu nyoma so mbeton no e ma ye be ka kire wo ha so mu say boy no okay Manchester City nemom e koba sempo offer bi ba no mu say sa offer na tempting dia ombesom na fumo ja Savinho no and a pure Angel Sports transfer center confirm say be 70 million pounds be 80 million euros ekwa kopiem ewo City fo aso no ma hwede omu beka e de afa ho no abiteba yade ho ensem ede ma no live on Pure 95.7 Pure FM TV ewo YouTube na Facebook Angel FM 96.1 and Angel FM Kumasi 96.1 on Facebook Test FM 90.9 Kofredia Darling 90.9 Cape Coast and Sunyane Angel 92.3 NHS omunyina efa me ba bedwafo so ni ahwem kakra quality
boss Nana Francis of France ɔse enra ɛna na yɛ ɔmaame awoda na maame no yɛfrɛ no Madam Abena Foda ɛwɔ ahafo Kenya ase ɛhɔ ɛna maame no efiri enti Nana Francis Nana Kofi Ejare ɛna afei ɛyɛ comics ɔmo nyinaa ɛwɔ France ɛsiɛmfa birthday ɛnkɔma ɔmo maame ɛyɛ belated one because ɛnura ɛna odi ne birthday no ɛno ɛyɛ Abena Foda Madam Abena Foda ɛnura anane na woda happy birthday ɛkɔ ɛde ama mommy nyame ɛnhyira wɔnya 75 years ɛna maame nya so still ɔda so ɛwɔ hɔ a ɛnyɛ ketewa kɔntini happy belated birthday ɛkɔ ɛde ama Nana Francis ɛmaame Chesenya Kito na Lady Franca UK Lady Franca enso UK happy birthday ekodama Lady Franca emishano no nyane kese
Mazi Yakoba
nyo
say bibia boko de
nyame adom bibia kama
okay yengram kakrai
all right yenhwe matches me Barcelona are playing and Manchester United Arsenal are also playing. See, first of all yenko La Liga also since 2018-2019 I think 6 or so seasons if I'm right, close to 6 or 7. Obiano Waje La Liga defended, crucial. What it means that this season, Barca Airways or the first from 2018-2019, or Beje La Liga now were defended. That is the aim. And I say, but I see money so for this season. But of course, they are coming up against Mallorca. Mallorca already on my top, Pablo Torre, if I should get the name right. Okay, say Nra. Kekes and so free, Bournemouth, and a call Liverpool. And Omusia, and it was a huge game. And already a Pablo, the Beka Omoho. But of course, preseason, no, Mallorca were very, very strong in their preseason. And Barca shouldn't take anything for granted as far as these games were concerned. Now, Oche, Omo 8 games at home. Omo win 3 draw 3 lusu 2. And the team Obo home 8 games, well lusu 2. Now, mid-table, and that's a team Ketwa there. Crucial, it means that they are very, very strong at home. And that has been their secret. And they are there in the La Liga. At home, they are very strong. But when they go away, and said that Emfa. Even last season, your ball close to be 19 or so matches. No more mid-table and no more pray for European place. But later, no, and now Omutume a bad down. I brought a fan Vedat Morigi. Was 2 goals against Barcelona consecutive. Nina see your openers like first goal. Ain't or a player be as a Barca very careful when he goes in so bad first half. And so that's a Barca be over 10 year or much me over 10. So that has been the case. Semenga Rafinha picture now on the screen I'll be clear. The good thing for Barca is that anytime that guy in the Benga goes, Rafinha will also counter. Okay. And so Rafinha swinging 3 goals in the last 4 head-to-heads are any Modiabo. So the Barcelona player to do as the honest no, Yenche Rafinha. If all things goes well, Rafinha will be able to do better. But Barcelona are unbeaten their last 7 away games in La Liga, 100% record. Intier come so strong since 2021. That has been their best run away in the La Liga. Now, Yenche managers no, say Ohe Jacoba Arasatia. All the 8 games on the Barcelona are going crucial. We're losing Inti. This one's your bomb pie is a record in Twasos because these records don't lie. What it means is that say who are records and statistics now they back on say I'm work here. Nature say in the given match no, team ne favor no played poorly and I 110 up and I say team ne against the crucial wa bobo bia a year beyond their performance. If not, na so come with the same performance. Over 90% those statistics and records of ABC. And I be technically there are mistakes in football. Who can mistakes? I be a penalty, red card, on goal. And yes, I say yeah, Bobo ni bibia those records. It to me is that's why I believe mostly in these records and statistics. It really works out. But last 9 openers, no, go for more and winning 4. And on my draw 5. Into mo nyeti mo mota elusu on my first game Mallorca. So Barcelona should be very, very careful. Barcelona saw the same record because almost last 16 or more lusu just 1. When it comes to openers, or more we need 13 I draw 2. But last season 60 games or so na Barca boy no more average hey goals or mo say nyina o chema matches or mo boy ubenya 2.90. That's averagely 3 goals per game. That is huge. And we have preseason at the same thing also continue. Those 3 or 4 matches and boy, most share 20 goals, me boy. Ain't over 2.5 a likely outcome. mo amom believe ebi am be fi say we a first match the Barca be sluggish ebi omo nyan start here no betumi akọ over 2.5 that is the cool chop mo penso a Barca win over 2.5 I no see a cool chop but of course I will hear also I think Barca also was through Barca there's almost 1.40 Chris I hope so you agree with me say was through because most often 1.3 that area so pen it straight what they call a straight win for Barcelona and that will be cool because
san crofo no mo otaha Barca
omo hadwene but
Volcano Mallorca
yeah
Espanyol san crofo no mo hadwene pa
and I heard team we Madrid na show mo bebre pa aside that now over Barcelona and so na show mo pa Barcelona have beaten them 42 times Oma draw 11 I think Barca elusu 13 and all but the team that has beaten them most rent real ne Barca no any team eta show mo pa then ye kohela mi yama the whole world there kohela mi yama people will not say it but secretly that is what they are going to do ye rest or be replicate what he did last season and I Chris I saw me arguing but I have no doubt about that the boy no he's destined for greatness the accounts or no one else or managing in your mind why a boy in a TikTok account video post be a millions and right now say wo hwa about TikTok when you 36 million of course Vinny I think Vinny was 42 and Jude was 38 also but over here just 2023 and Lami only 500,000 followers sisi our hate about 36 million age 18 but what you say sisi o mature because o 18 and ameboa me name say be our be so is still immature because the 18 they are matured now so what is he going to do after 18 and even with the engagement go beat Ronaldo de Messi he is on TikTok and over even Instagram or 37 million. So the guy is pushing up. And here one of the reasons is about YouTube, about Barcelona, even FIFA and the NBA. And here how the season will continue. But I think it's Lamine. And this season, Obesha more goals than last season. Do you know why? We're taking responsibilities, or be taking free kicks and also dead balls, any penalty, or be taking. Because people were saying, numbers, yes, numbers, yes. So it has 80 into his head. And after, say, Nyamin fire papa kra NCA. I know he'll be in heaven, Mr. Pobi. Also, Kwasi and 10. But it's okay. So I said, they made the power. In the 10-year huge responsibility. Into crucial. Now, with Arsenal, the last pick in here, Arsenal United. You hear quick start from all these teams. Anything less than quick start, a bare failure for them. They should listen to me very well. Why? United, they play C15th. Disastrous campaign in the Premier League. And Europa League no so on pese or mode ebe kata so no so a no more champions that Tottenham san ball moto nche. So it was a disastrous season for them. Into this season almost spending close to $250 million. That's around 200 million pounds. Omode Sesko aba Mbuemo ene kunya. Into what are we looking for? Quick response.
Yeah.
Quick response. And this time no I think United will do better. Personal life, conviction is that United will do much better than these previous seasons. Of course, season no Moody second. Other teams were not turning up and all that. And I think they will do better because these signings are much better than what they've been able to do in recent times. Of course, on the last 5 games, the more than power. So all they check all the teams in the first fixtures, 5 fixtures now. United any more than it. Because as they are playing Gunners tomorrow, they will play the Blues and also play the Citizens, City and Chelsea and Arsenal in the first.
The first five.
Okay, full amount of there, but first 5.
We have a top size.
3. Only on
Obebo City.
Obebo City. Obebo Chelsea. Now Obebo Arsenal. Yeah, in the first 5. Yeah. Into what else? A quick start. Okama we more running riot over you are. People will raise questions and maybe say Morano cry into me Emma. Arsenal way almost 100 consecutive season at the top level in all English football. Team watch our top level pie Arsenal consecutively. But on macro relegation, I think 1913. I hadn't got focus on Arsenal have suffered relegation once, but since that 13 or more top level, no, and yeah, Arsenal core relegation beam. But just what I say, good. And I think say United cry 68 or so year normally what the top level consecutively. Into a year century of being at the top level, is it going to be the turning point for Arsenal this season, Anna? With a little push, I'll see yes. But it still have a lot. Oh, so Arsenal problem, they say. Crucial, among consistent in their dealing. They might start very well and end poorly. And now they will start poorly and end well. Among that home stretch, you know, unlike their City, almost a City in recent time, then So man start here more 15 16 to 18 20 games we are on be ball moon lose.
Yeah.
Na omo the agile leg no. Liverpool themselves are not consistent. For this season they will put up a fair challenge. Ebi crow agile leg and I say 1 point we no mo dey lose. Obeka so they are coming next season beba no. No ma san ye and no ma foforo. Chelsea themselves that they are unpredictable. You can't predict Chelsea as to what they are going to do. That makes them dangerous. Because only Obi Kwayade now ultimate predicting just like Mayweather. You just can't predict where he will be, when or better shot, no, when or better running, when or better clinching. So it is very, very difficult to play against them. So with that said, what I think is that last season, a 1-1-1.
1-1-1
Arsenal 1 win, Chelsea 1 win, then Manchester 1 win and 1 draw in all competitions they played. But draw on about Old Trafford. And a United so 9 season near or must start on my leg, at home. Then in 22, over a Premiership record, a team and the first game, or say, home, no. And after the first game, no young win or a Manchester United 22, a record in the Premiership. Ain't when your first game so mobile home, no, they should let that record also count. Now, so over the last 18 games, only 2 losses at home, or more winning 10 or more draw 6. Into home one day when they are playing Arsenal, they are very strong. Away ne enye. So they need to make it work. But Arsenal's last 11 visit to Old Trafford or much ago.
Last
11 visits.
Yeah,
to that ground, Arsenal go. Arsenal go. And Arsenal were 14 games unbeaten away in the Premiership. But what I say, and again, so one clean sheet in their final 7 games. So we need to draw 2 and lose 3 in all the last 7 games. But I win it. I am not almost strong. And what I said, United did make a nice season here. Or more first game at home. So how is the game gonna pan out? They are panning out in here. Victor Gyökeres. So many yes.
Started.
It was all started
because we buying the as a kitty lead.
Yeah. And hold my main Fabi Kramra. Players now more buy in the Community Shield or share goal. Majority of them went on to get very good seasons.
Okay.
For example, Sterling or Bar City no in the Com Shield or share Liverpool that season no ended with 31 goals. Haaland and Shego but ended with 56 or 52. And at this Nigerian Iheanacho or also share go I think for Leicester or if I'm right but no the whole season Leicester also only 7 goals. But what I say now why Darwin Nunez we share go in the your friend is saying the Com Shield the first time he went on to score about 16 or 17 goals until a dicey let me put it a 50-50 and yes so clear say Use goal I'll bring but majority of them times mean to boy but majority of them no munya goal no echo Com Shield na echo ye until I was having a strong conviction that Ketike will score.
Okay.
And just like Quality said no the record was there for Salah to also score but minim the enti amenja Enra ye ball we am so much say because somehow the question win na no be there for Enra South Africa for no mujuri bibia go yen san ka bibia dem and I'm say say can be call goals now what I'm saying is that because Gyökeres dey inti na waba Miriam Arsenal feel say over to cross the line and get goals now has been a problem but they play well into omu here striker away every Arsenal guy will tell us we want a striker away from the Premier League and say waba you need to come and show stuff and also a big player because looking at his numbers now huge or a prolific strikers are strikers they be a game be more at least a goal and now any crowd 2 games you saw more 1 goal. There are some strikers who are not prolific. For example, I was telling my boss BKB say Teteno Obi say 16-17 goals or didn't pass striker but very similar near England no I say 15-18 goals some are okay but no say striker say 18 goals because on yadi until now none first for one yadi o the next Saturday buy never more they say first and it doesn't mean they are not going anymore because of systems and formations our coaches in the ball your closest
more scientific
more scientific it's only that yensu time ni because ball are Kopama airball ball are Lamia ma airball of course you more better than no be on more but they can compete any generation meaning so what's matter so finally He has to start with. So ball. Joe Carres I saw started ball. Now but since 97, Obia knew I was Manchester United at home in his debut.
I don't see another.
And only 3 players when when they are making their debut at Old Trafford, no Mashego. Since 97, Obia Inti Bona Shegua unya record. Udin Kra Kosro.
Yeah.
Sesko no sume momon fanent na bench. Ye pesi ye hu di obabe. Because it was between Arsenal and Manchester United. And a surprise lo choose surprisingly because Arsenal is more attractive than United, no doubt about that. And no choose Manchester United, but what you say. And been panga Sesko crack as or be call Arsenal, been panga Joe Carres amba. Because the coach wanted Sesko, but the director also wanted Joe Carres. But until Omono Ba near that rivalry. But with that said, over 2.5, I think the best way. And Bruno Fernandes, don't be surprised or Shegola. Because last season, no shared 2 goals in those 3 head-to-head in 2 games, and 1 was even a free kick. Into over 2.5 goals, I think say very likely. But United in here as the honest by getting at least a draw. Memo Arsenal sure because Arsenal sure more season more. But I back Arsenal a little bit ahead.
Chairman BKB message abasisi I say Joe Carres be 2 goals. Against Manchester
me who be say Joe Carres go, na Cisco go. Because Eketike as a go. Into Joe Carres I said Benjamin Sesko as a pen. It's a season now. Set Salah already.
Yeah.
Season be that crucial.
Chamo nti yebehwe game ni yebehwe 2 players nti na ekwa.
Also and into ubi a one for the answer start bia na say usuro.
Yeah.
Yeah, wo so mo ye mema o to a say obo. Lewandowski oba no be boy ana can be chrom. Salah buy no be boy. 81 time on
Manchester Arsenal time bay.
I think 3:30 tomorrow na. 3:30. I think it's 3:30. Yeah, 3:30.
Chamo, ye chiao baby a obi a chiao and then matenam ama. Well, still live on Pure FM TV on Facebook. Angel FM Kumasi 96.1 on Facebook. Ubetimi aba na wo de wadwen kire aba. Madam Maxwell as me call a governor ho. Biggie.
Boss player.
Sir Boko there.
Bibia Boko boss player.
A big game near Arsenal and Manchester United game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ba yeni kan ka Liverpool de na kakra. Eno a wo kan komodi ani yedi. Yedi kan di san komo say Liverpool for transitions no. O man control ya boss player. E be a problem the amount. Eno a kwan ben so na bomb for share 2 goals from transitions. Boss player in football no. Fans no game a ye pressure pa ye game a teams need to control transitions. Sa game no e end to end games. Eti ball no kwa ha na di America na saba ha. Ne di America na kwa saa bi na ye fans ni ye pe end to end games, but for coaches no games are omompe kura. For coaches omompe end to end games. It's most of the time they try as much as possible to control the transitions. Ekwan be so no mu control transitions makacho say slow possession one obe keep ball no onko direct p because onko direct abelusu balls no ulusu balls are ya ball counter attack. It is slow possession important. Counter pressing important. Olusu ball na no attack o no age. Enu ti na friend counter pressing. It counter no say what turning possession over. Pressing no you are pressing the ball now what turning over no. Sane be ya ma me ball. Third one no rest defense. Rest defense. Made the players no ball no mo dey kwa animu. Dodo wa say na me jano wo akire behind the ball. In case some lose ball now, to me defend the amami. That is the rest defense. And only Liverpool problem no. 4-4 no we hear players be to me defending big spaces. It's Arsenal say Declan Rice. Chelsea were Moises Caicedo. Not Chelsea were N'Golo Kante. Real Madrid no Casemiro. These were players in big spaces never that one they can defend them. But Liverpool now no. Boss player so boss line to me defend that big space. Ono so kurano onye elite in that regard like Abrante friend Declan Rice. Ravenberch able to me defend but ono so nye elite in that regard. It's now Liverpool team no. Either say unbebo slow possession. And then no slow possession yehu because Curtis Jones nyina mu bi. Ravenberch nyina mu bi. 2 rest defense boss player and no yehu rest defense. Yehwe team my friend bomb of 4 first goal no. Boss player can players do award the final third of Bournemouth. Mako 7 from Liverpool. Meaning say I can't put 3 and a watch 3. At the moment Liverpool 4 10 ball over na 05 my next image. Ball na Tometi Eko aka just 3 players behind the ball. Right back no pushing high, and in Liverpool sa right back pushing higher. Konate na cover our position no. Konate no to me defended that big space. But in this situation, you lose ball and your ball bonny to nechi and a bomb of ring and running onto the ball. And one Semenyo running across Milos Kekes or Matibako 2-1. Mami second goal no. Should the amount of players Liverpool up pushy any opponent a box abra only the 2-1. I had a slow possession in Subam. One way of dealing with the counter attack. So slow possession way. Se Kahravin Betchibi wom at that situation now. Kobaji bona kami situation down. A coolly tempo no. I'm a Liverpool for ne PAP born in kakra. But as a 2-1 Liverpool Football Club kopra kopego. It is the left back equal high, the right back equal high. 05 connect image in Ubewusa image no. 2 fullbacks ni nyina equal high. It was 10 wa ho nyina eda ho. It was like a situation we leading at 2-1. The internet so sadi we. Naive. We go home. When you're 2-1 lead, you keep the ball. Ball or possession ball like mana I board. It will pia ball in kakra. Almost in the near her. But almost pen in terms of a third goal. It is almost the green out to almost no. That is the right back and left back at that moment now. Na Liverpool bobono. Because that from point film. Keke is a film. Almost buy in the end of number ball. Left back and right back. No more. Almost box him. Where is the rest defense?
Omunyina na bomb of half.
Omunyina na bomb of a half. Omunyina na saw box him. It's boss player rest defense anyway. Why is the slow possession now between they dealing with the counter attack? In this situation, ball no obia behind the ball into Lusukra counter pressing in the
Then movement with Semenyo Kon.
Semenyo, yes.
And
from one actually no. Oh, boss player on home the action. Fullbacks in half in no mobile. Semenyo the ball no cut. I cut 2 centre backs.
Yeah.
It is a Liverpool team.
No rest defense.
No rest defense. There is no rest defense. Distances to no counter pressing. Oman keeping slow possession of the ball. And nothing on the counter tema. Omuko ra final third. No. It is a Liverpool for no. Oh, come to me, I can say. Ombe neglected that aspect of the game. No man, I'll score opponent by 2 or more goals. But what's player beside was over to me and the South for 38 games. Over to me, I'll score opponent South for 38 games. And only problem I say Liverpool for every face, no. But for Antoine Semenyo your boss player, or you 2-footed, or ball left, or ball right, or bet me dribble in isolation. And in terms of dribbling in isolation, no, or you're unpredictable because they go inside, outside, or to me carry over short and long distances. The ball striking or a transitional outlet. And also a elite presser. This guy, no, but me press one player. No, say keeping cover shadow on another player. It's the profile no boss player. And now make us say a name profile here or more. Players want to me dribble a carry 1v1 situation. No, actually, no, start the ball in Antino. And no football in here because we are living in a world of man-to-man presses and compact low blocks. You need these profiles of football. And then Semenyo Edema my friend.
Tactical biggie quickly and early kickoff near Newcastle near Aston Villa and Hebo. Na Nick Pope and that post him. So our squad in Newcastle the Abana. The here pa Ishak and just on new home baby. Pope Trippier. Fabian Shah, Joelinton, Sandro Tonali, Anthony Gordon, Ave Barnes, Elanga, Livramento, Dan Ben, and Afi Bruno Guamarash. Omo and started the Newcastle United team into Newcastle and Aston Villa. Said the name Tete na Nyadia Ishak or Kaumo Norma who say kra. Well, before say Governor Beba Manchester Arsenal game this no Maxwell on Semenyo and Ra. Bibi Kakrebi on Antoine.
He was brilliant. He was brilliant, and I minim the entire or extending a contract to stay. Esen ko battled na. Nanka obeka could do so. So see the Savinho Eba.
Yeah, almost
best 70. Paulinha and so Bejina from Bayern Munich. Tells you any day any permanent. And that Korean or Japanese international. I think the Spurs is team Zinko Minyan was Spurs and Campenank wing the feel of the champion. I think Kobe to me about. But with that said, no, Bonamata and Casa, they like scoring goals. Because last season over aware. No, most goals, but 10 games or more call last were winning, they were scoring. And again, on Liverpool is like a win or loss situation because last 14, Liverpool are taking 13 or more pick one. So it was always going to be a winner in the game. That you can't Salah record near. But for him to have scored those 2 goals, I was not expecting. At least the Ghanaian strikers really don't perform so well because even Anthony Yeboah in Europe, because as a Ghanaian striker or boy, unya Ghanaian striker bia minimum as time to be corrected in Europe or mount numbers be. Jan say, yeah, of course Sunderland it was okay because I think he had about 10 double figures in a single season. Memphis made the Jan Becker that equation. But crucial, unsa that Ghanaian strikers in Europe and elsewhere who have been scoring. Then Matthew Amoa, even that leg and all Bokrane or Femkakra, they are very few, but a bad midfielders and all that. In a big game like that, na ever Anfield, share the stakes ahead. The first game Liverpool want to kill because no more they akata pre-season normal so. For the manner in which he scored the goal, far baby or second goal, if I'm right, or 5, baby or far ball at the running the ball in the 2 nets. It was a marker. It was a marker. Pace in the edge. Yes, we have been there so more Hording County. And I think it was brilliant. So Baha coaches me sure see a coaches so England game maybe so that they use them in a way that is going to benefit them. But for me, about Tottenham and I think say champions would have been better, but it was brilliant.
Well, Maso Medase, Ejodi, Kakrebi on Antoine Afi, Mim Biggie on Manchester game.
Within the reason why he wasn't the man of the match of the game, Adinja, he scored 2, Obi share 1 assist here, and done the general performance for Bournemouth. As I done, Utia done, say within the 75. As a 70th minute, no BNM said the game was done. We got 2-0 there. It will and no, meaning a big in match in area. Substitution of Onslaught was based on 2-0. So I need to at least get my fullback of the game. Namenfa Endo and Robertson Embra. But don't only changing the face of the game. After saying that racially don't know abusing in the game. Oh, I know the course. Now don't wait to be on use it wasn't okay. But Antoine Semenyo. Minim se Ghana obaha ye nyusu ni ye dia because when the goals I don't know Shema Bemofa and Bowflex don na ni enu nyina power so obo power and then the pace I do a crown no I think that boy in some time to come on the baby the face of your national team no born baby Brooks in the far born no oh run out running at the go by because immediately on say boy na nya ball na the was sprinting and done a boy on the left foot no a place here and sana the second goal is done baby of far born and we are the other screen see look at the 2 defenders because he decided say or passing in tema a come to be defended so he kept them on suspense or now just don't pass it near and you could see it was almost about 4 against 2. That is what happened. They equalized on there because for you to score 2 goals in your first game on Anfield done a chance Antoine Semenyo from where he stopped last season, and one I done all twice with this particular season I done. Yesterday he did really well for the team.
Well, okay, better say HOD. Biggie, yan quick and bebe fie buy and the chairman or Ben Seche ebedin komo studio life inti ye buy na e refuge Chumberima and so hana fe Mr. Du Kotoko and so hanti yan quick na fe yemra. Na imiti nkomo kakra ewo Kotoko enche bia chairmanship elections ne bebaso eti ba be di ho nkomo kakra.
Okay, boss player Manchester United and Arsenal ewo Old Trafford. Sane boss Maxwell edit to Edwano in terms of fixture difficulty Man U any decline. But you are also third in so Arsenal. Almost fixtures in emu odin pa boss player. Omo Man U wia, omo Liverpool Man City. And to almost what that big season in 3 and so almost first 5 fixtures in so much way important for Arsenal to kick off their season so bet me that 3 points no but boss player Oshe Mikel Arteta the last time we lose a match to any of the traditional top 6 no boss player go way back to 2023 that was the last time Mikel Arteta lose a match to any of the traditional top 6 Tottenham, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and on Arsenal ne count. So 5 opponent way. The last time we lose match here at May 2023. It's a choice in terms of big games there Mikel Arteta de bia obo no homodin ye eno ena match we a Man U for eba be share Arsenal no din edema Manchester United and per Man U kura no the last time omuso share Mikel Arteta in the Premier League no boss player na 2022 5 consecutive matches boss player enya di omatumi awini e de etia Mikel Arteta but boss player enhwe tactics no na enhwe sane enuoma ebesi akọ now match we first question na Mikel Arteta be bisa no say minko full pack man to man and I'm impressive +1-1 now me denti America sasem we ni say Benjamin Sesko boss player last season Arsenal Asia Sporting Lisbon na Gyökeres and Sporting Lisbon striker Mikel Arteta air pressing in that match no or pressing with the +1-1 send a bear Saliba and Gabriel ebehwe Gyökeres or according Gyökeres that respect because Ohuni says Ojai either Saliba or Gabriel in a 1v1 situation against Gyökeres ebeha dwin ye pa now Manchester United enya Haaland e ho now I can say ubejai Haaland with either Saliba or Gabriel obetumi asisi no this time is Sesko osowa upper body strength no awo area duels no owini pa in terms of strikers omo wini area duels no or that top forward no over 57% of the area duels owini eti now we Arsenal o kwa press in a man to man another pressing with the +1-1 say na benya an extra man on the back line to deal with Benjamin Sesko. This is the situation team my friend Arsenal and our coach a friend Mikel Arteta ewom. Now Manchester United is one of the teams our boss player you can press with the +1-1 they invert the centre back into midfield. It's a manner easier to apply a cover shadow on the central centre back and also the goalkeeper. It's offer to share images in Ubehu team a friend Newcastle or yes RDNB at the team Manchester United and our key because of say about central areas now about clogging central areas no it's not all the striker na to now I cover sa player no sa cover goalkeeper no and no that Facebook no so no it's Mikel Arteta ebe to me use sa de we bi say na be ebe to me be the influence on Benjamin Sesko because Manchester United board up now no on be bought a lot of direct balls because of say Ruben Amorim say when you a reference point e wanim ho and that reference point Benjamin Sesko. Now Manchester United build up no so wo China Benjamin Sesko efa area duels na one mo na efa second boss ni say eye Kunya eye Mbuamo Bruno Fernandes when these players pick second boss na space na omo create 110 no ho no boss player omo hitting it fast omo hitting it directly eti Mikel Arteta find the way bi no to me dey hwe say Manchester United build up na Sesko nti omo be ball long balls normal just Sesko betumi afa that air ball normal pick a second ball normal boss out transitions no obetumi limited that influence and I think one way of limiting that influence is pressing with a +1 and a -1 Saliba and Gabriel and working on Benjamin Sesko near the situation but and Arsenal they omunye new in terms of pressing with the hybrid pressing it was to share imagine Ube who say Arsenal against Manchester City, we use hybrid pressing. Arsenal bet to me the nipa 5, up pressing with nipa 7. Still no bet to me force 10 over. That is how good the Arsenal for here in terms of their pressing. The players understand the omu roles no, dual roles no. Odegaard bet to me pressing nipa mienu. Na can have bet to me pressing nipa mienu. They can rise bet to me pressing nipa mienu. It attends say Arsenal for use that. Ebe to me abua sa de no of team my friend Arsenal Football Club. Now Arsenal so ade ba kubi of team my friend Manchester United in their build up. That right wing back inside diagonal. Say Amad Diallo ene bobo ha. Me say oje bona oje on the stronger foot. Oje obe to me ba inside, oba inside or bobo no the ama striker no. And that striker in this case no Benjamin Sesko. Enye Haaland biom. Haaland the hold that plane now from Benjamin Sesko the na e soro. It will share inside diagonal na ene that Facebook no so. It is a wood one be di Amad Diallo hope. No dribble ba inside. Or dribble ba inside that pitch no e biama no. Obetumi switch ball no dey command the other wing back. And also obebo ball no dey about to strike and na so. Obo the two strike and na so pe. Makacho say man you build up a 4-2-2-2. Central overload no e ho. So ball no be that half central overload no pe. quick combinations normal hitting space no rapidly eti ti my friend Arsenal so Mikel Arteta will have to pay attention to this detail Sesko ye target man Ama Diallo inside diagonal no enso be hurting my friend Arsenal ye pa eti be hekwan Arsenal be so e dia pressing my friend Manchester United boss player Man U dey off the ball problem dey brebe ya ka ho asema 5-2-3 no mo dey press it dey be omo like extra man up front what the side way be sia Arsenal o ho be kiro it woni Arsenal ba bobo no be say wo press pa no mo bobo ni for pressing him the moment Arsenal be start a break press no 1-2-3 times we see the control over the game because now you be tempted say own pressibium and the own pressibium ni say when you are pressing high you back it up with the high line. It is a constantly opponent, you know, a breaking front line and no second line of pressing. Meaning said they are going to face a back line, a side high with a lot of space behind them. And that's the same, no, Sir Arsenal team or Gyökeres, a player running into space. It is a team of friend Man U, a person pressing there 4-4-2. Simple and short. Omo man market, no more making sure say Arsenal phone and to me more born from because one pressing here. Arsenal one of the teams are in terms of control no how many matches no control especially with Odegaard movement from high to low no or drop overload build up no the involvement of Raya as a goalkeeper being a +1 an extra man in the build up no about overload pressing no this is one detail Ruben Amorim entering here because Ruben Amorim mo pressing here the moment man pressing here na Arsenal be both for pressing him 1-2 no space near Domo backline no Gyökeres will feed on that space because the movement you okay and a boss player or you potent in front of goal. This is one detail I say very very important. It is for Manchester United there. Arsenal be dealing with Domo build up now. You better say Mikel Arteta be pressing with the +1-1. And Kwame Suno be dealing with Omo right wing back inside diagonal. For Manchester United there Arsenal able to me ball from so call 5-2-3 now Arsenal be didi. So 5-2-3 now no the be in terms of pressing there. Mikel Arteta mbedidi especially with Odegaard or drop it from high to low and with Raya involvement as a +1. 5-2-3 with the Nipa 5. And the press will be build up of Nipa 6, Nipa 7. Emfa overload. And build up on what is the concept. Find the free man, progress to the free man. Free man no be any no one space and time. And Odegaard so no be say free any what's about o friend mo ba chira wasanya extra man biom o pressing him or the goalkeeper no so ka onu so nim ball but wasanya extra man biom o pressing him eti Arsenal no omunim o pressing no overload eti Man U for ni hweye so o ko 4-4-2 na 4-4-2 no so yem pedie ye huti bomb of mo e pre-season na space ni nye forward line ni gina 18 ya box a na midfield line ni gina center circle arc na nim na defensive line no so gina defensive third na space ni nye eti a simple and short 4-4-2 on your space ni ye no making sure so obe apply reliable pressure on the ball wanya sa na Arsenal for ni break here omo be face back line na Gyökeres ba run forward chi sa na ebobo ne ma no ni hu boss player ni hu ma ye in behind ni hu and on so face wa omo nche wo obo se or you potent in front of goal.
I see.
It has a team and friend Arsenal for
General Chairman BKB tested 2 goals for Gyökeres. Yes. Meaning that chairman when me more.
Oh, most player in terms of pressing there. South match with detail about
but Arsenal a favorite.
Arsenal don't be a favorite. Arsenal a favorite. Arsenal a favorite. But baby Abama Man U when you the quality of the players and transitions.
Yeah, you hear on
Man U a team no. Mbuamu enim carry ewo transitions mu.
Okay.
Abracha friend Kunya enim carry ewo transitions mu. Ena Benjamin Sesko so hu transitions mu. It is a Arsenal for no an control game no. No mu see a lot of spaces. No mu the mass anchor for me in some way. Boss be on be ha omo. Ama Diallo so ho. Eti Mayu ni hu ni nyina no. Transitions no and individual quality. One pass from Bruno Fernandes with a run from Mbuamu in behind no. Wow. One pass from Bruno Fernandes to Benjamin Sesko no wow. One carry from Cunha in between the lines. So in between the lines. No. Not Sesko running behind no wow. Iti Arsenal for Makacho say in terms of football they mean who team on him defend the not Diego Simeone's ATM. Nenye Inzaghi kura Inter Milan ATP no. In terms of 4-4-2 block no Pampe no. Na in some transition kwa a back 5 or back 6 no. They were the best. Iti Arsenal for na enyomu heye because that individual quality na egu anymore no. Enyomu transition ability boss play by hardring. It is a team a friend Arsenal heye. But me the man you problem ni nyina no. Eye 5-2-3 no. Boss players have 5-2-3 no. And when the man you problem ni nyina and one of the pressing and one of Saliba out to possession block no. 05 mami sa image na omuni Fiorentina. Me say 5-2-3 no. Block no eye narrow. Sa block no ye narrow space na de dan chanchan e ho no opponent ne pe. Et both player hwe image way Fiorentina player na ajibo a o face play. Play na o face no o say face wo backline no. And our backline is high. Et hwe image na for branch friend Odegaard in this instance to wajibo no beside your block or face play. Now but me about a direct pass to Benjamin Sesko how. It's a simple and short 5-2-3 no 4-4-2 and no any narrow a wide block on consider space in our block in chanchan. Yes a Ruben Amorim a adjustment way. So one year adjustment where send your man you for the year last season in the first leg our Emirates no sana match we be on be controlling man you for benya chance just a transitions omo yes so with your crash a target man or anymore no obetumi ha omo ye pa and boss player wide battles in there because Abrante friend Bukayo Saka 1v1 specialist so Abrante friend Dogu ne bebo ha so ye alert one alert in that situation because Bukayo Saka there the creative force no anyhow but the problem around Arsenal no so the Makacho that the lack of central progression it here has to be made inclusion no ebetumi solve that issue we about amomo omo pe ball na e de fan tenten one ball na e fan tenten one bia e ma o block ni break it down heading usia low block a u breaking it down heading fa fin say the be our players betumi receive your face play kama it is to be made the abeshemi the hase boss player Eddie Martin, my friend Arsenal, but me tepedia. Arsenal, mama Arsenal 60%, no mama you 40%. Okay. But say Arsenal control transitions in there. A very difficult match at the moment. For Chelsea, the boss player only Oliver Glasner be share no moment. Over
for Chelsea, how Umbeline up in the Tusuman before say Mebano. We ya HOD the Kakre be so na fi ya ba Asante Kotoko, your own comochichen. Oh, hi, the chairman of Ben Seche, Eba Bedin Komo. Chelsea almost say Sanchez na fe Shaloba Tosin Adarabiu and Eba 4M5 no. James Ewo 2 Cucurella Ebo 3 Caicedo ni Fernandez. Yes, Enzo Fernandez middle. Pedro Neto right. Palmer middle. Gittins left. And João Pedro attack. Kakrebi ewo Chelsea na memra HOD so.
Boss player Crystal Palace ushi omo enoma mienu na eso deal with 5-2-3 na ko 5-4-1 block no kwan ben so na be breaking it down. Oliver Glasner sa block no ha Liverpool ha teams bebre it 5-2-3 na move ko 5-4-1 kwan ben so na be break that compact block and near first situation second situation how do you deal with Ismail Assar Eberechi Eze and Philippe Mateta on the counter attack. It Chelsea for no almost be winning match we are. Oh, have one other result two situations we. Enzo Maresca, Makacho say fluidity in the sense the club World Cup in the womb. It will see a lot of movement. Kopama Benya freedom so by getting on the ball. And Jimmy Bino Gittins may stress on this fact. The guy no ability in 1v1 situations, the ability in 1v2 situations no. A very vital for Chelsea ne. The ability so about running that wing back no. No to me akwa twene no ebeboa ama Chelsea atumi movie block no ye wian so a Chelsea for no Mateta mojebo a Ismail Assar mojebo Eberechi mojebo na counter attack ne wo ho kwan be so na Chelsea be delay Caicedo will be very very important it match no enye easy match because only coach or your top coach a lead tactician na kwakosia se Chelsea ye two details we here omo wini omo anye ne ye dia Crystal Palace so the transitions by how just like omo ye dia team friend in Liverpool no. It's a chance boss player what the